guys. This is Rachel here, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being with me for another YouTube Q&A video of the week. Welcome back. You guys are gonna have to be patient with me because I keep trying to find, when I do these videos in my new office, I keep trying to find a new spot to do them. And I'm not quite sure where I wanna face or which direction. So today we are facing the couch. And my beautiful roses my hubby gave me. Look at those. I am a flower girl. I never used to be, but I am now. And I'm just vibing. I'm getting the energy going in this space. So anyhow, thanks for being with me, you guys. I always love to say welcome if you're new to just all my newcomers. I'd love for you to visit my website, which is themodernshaman.net. And that really has everything that you can imagine if you would like to book a session with me one-on-one, or if you would like to learn from me and do more in-depth study. And the learning, really honestly, my goal is more of a remembering. It's reminding you what you're capable of, your innate powers, of your connections, of your gifts, of who you are as a divine being living in this physical form here on earth. And all of that is not new because you were spirit before you were form. It is just remembering that oftentimes when we feel disconnected, when we experience disconnection through a lifetime sometimes of hardship or trauma or the fast-paced stress of this world, whatever your story may include, oftentimes there is a level of forgetting who we truly are. And so my teaching and mentoring and meditations and all of my masterclass curriculum is really just centered on helping you guys remember who you are and what you're capable of, and then step back out there and get you doing it. And when you do, you flourish in any way, shape, and form that you came to be here on earth. So that's my heart. Reach out on my website, themodernshaman.net, to follow up with me, to, like I said, learn through my curriculum, or to sit with me one-on-one for a session. I do healing sessions, I do seership sessions, which are psychic sessions, as well as past life viewer, channeling, remote viewing, you name it. We do it. Okay, so let's get on with the question. Oh, I want to say to you guys also, if you've never sent in a question, do it. These questions come from you all. So that's also available on the website. If you just go to the website, on the contact form, it says like, how do I get a hold of the team? You send in your question on there. So you can just type in the contact information and whatever question you have, and just mention that it's for this YouTube channel. And it goes in a queue. My assistant just puts it in a little file and I pull from that file. So I would love to hear from you guys. All right. Let's get back to it. Here we are. It says, hi, Rachel. I do understand the concept of divine feminine and divine masculine, these principles that we all have inside of us. But is there a difference between men and women on an energetic level? Are our energy centers the same? Thank you. Fun question. So in my masterclass, I talk about the divine feminine, divine masculine, and really the higher level chakra system. This is kind of not a straightforward question. I'm going to say yes and no. Are we the same? Are our energy centers the same? Yes. Are we the same at an energetic level? No. We have strengths that and variances that are different and that are definitively, like, defined differently based on how we express our gender. Now, what's cool about where we are in our species as humans is that we are growing more energetically and genetically. And this is why we're seeing so much of the expression of variance in gender. And this is so wonderful from a multidimensional standpoint, because when we first came as the perfected human on this earth, and I'm talking about ancient times, our DNA was much more functional. So much of it has kind of come offline and been genetically modified and tinkered with, and the food we eat there's been a lot of things, even light pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, a lot of aspects of life here on this earth that have kind of deteriorated our human form and its magnificence here on this planet. But originally we had much more multi-dimensional DNA. Now that is kind of coming back online. And when I say online, it really literally works like a bioenergetic computer. And part of the functionality of that is our chakra system. It is our bioenergetic organ system. And just like we are able to print now organs, we are able to 3D print organs and biological forms that have function, that do work. If you stay on the cutting edge of science, again, like there's not a lot of difference between spiritual expression and what so much of the cutting edge in the spiritual realm is speaking of and what our cutting edge science is coming up with. They're going to bridge. Our metaphysical realm is just trying to express in another language semantically what our scientists are trying to explain. So this is a wonderful union that in time is beginning to bridge, right? With a lot of what we've found in string theory and a lot of our, anyway, I don't need to go into it. I talk a lot about science and y'all know that I have a heart for that. But the same is true when you think of what makes us genetically different between females and males, right? It's the expression of the chromosome, of that Y chromosome. Males have the Y chromosome, the X and the Y, and they have Y. Women have 2 X chromosomes, typically. Although now that they're doing more and more tests, they're finding that a lot of women may have the male chromosome that just had some sort of like something that morphed, or the way that it's expressed in the androgen receptor has some sort of mutation, and so it never fully received all of the testosterone and expressed as male into a male organ. So they're finding that nowadays there has been a genetic shift in so many of those on a biological level in their genes and the mutation of our genes. So this is happening. Now, I can't say if it was happening way back when, because we weren't really testing for that in ancient times, but with a lot that's been going on with in the gender kind of scientific community, they are putting a lot of funds into researching kind of what's happening in our DNA and the structure and the expression of those chromosomes, which is amazing. Like I said, I find that it is coming further and further back to our original multidimensional form of expression. Now, that being said, you didn't really ask about the genes and the DNA, but the energetic centers are the same. And this is why I said, yes, we are the same, but no, we express differently. Okay? And the expression of those genes, or the expression, has more nuances and has more strengths in certain areas, and I would say deficits in certain areas. So they play with the balance of one another. And I believe the more and more we strengthen both aspects of our energetic centers of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the more we will bridge and come back online with our multidimensional DNA structure, which has more than the double helix. So let's go a little bit into the specifics. Let me talk about our higher vibrational chakra system. So the typical 7 chakra system splits the masculine and the feminine in the sacral chakra. If you're familiar with this, this is probably old news to you. But so your chakra centers, from the 3D perspective, or our ancient perspective, when we became very binary and segmented and polarized, have the root chakra system, right? Which is in our coccyx. It's at the end of our tailbone, right where we connect. It's our grounding center. Literally, if you sat on the floor, it's where your tailbone hits the ground. It is like our grounding cord. Just like all of our electrical needs a grounding cord that goes into the earth and stabilizes it. That is our stabilizing cord. Goes into the ground. Then we have the sacral chakra, which is in the pelvis, the hips, our sexual center. And this is where it splits the right and the left side of the pelvis, and this houses the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine expression in our human form. This is the sexual expression of our spirit into form, okay? But it's the very tangible aspects of it. So this is the aspects that typically people hear about when they think about what makes someone more masculine or more feminine. So the feminine is that yin energy. It's the receptive. So you think of the womb, you think of the physical apparatus of literally the vagina or the opening of a woman, and it has more receptivity. It has more introspection. It's also more contemplative. So the growth happens more patiently also. And the growth is contemplative and introspective growth. We like to mull over, and the growth comes through the slow blossoming, and like a baby is developed slowly, and then with time it expresses. It's more creative in essence, and yeah, I could go on and on, but that's the basics. Then the masculine aspect of the sacral center, of that energetic chakra, and when I say the chakras, they are our energetic organs. This is what connects our bioenergetic field with the cosmos, right? With the non-material. So this is electromagnetic. This is, it goes way beyond just the physical form, but it is physical. There are components that are measurable, right? We just don't see them with our visual eyes because our light spectrum cannot see all of the aura, but it can feel, it can sense, and you can get your higher seeing to read them. Okay, anyways, the masculine would be the opposite. So this is extrovertive energy, right? You think of the phallic of a male body part and organ, and it is outward. The expression of that sexually is also outward. So this is productivity. This is growth that happens with assertion and dominance, or moving forward, activeness in personality, and those traits that are deemed masculine, right? This is also logical and systematic type of growth. So progression that happens forward, not through brooding, right? Like not like I'm seeing like a cauldron, I'm seeing like a petri dish for a woman. And for the man, it's more outward. And so it has a linear fashion to it that feels more like stair steps, or a timeline. We are moving forward and progressive through action. Okay, when it's also very initiative. I keep looking, kind of scanning back over your question. Now, as we move up through the rest of the chakra system, we have the solar plexus in the belly. This is the same. If we move up into the higher vibrational chakra system, this is once we've moved beyond just the physical components of the body and we extend into the auric field. Okay, and these are higher level, what's known as the 5D chakra system. Now, this means that in a dimensional level, you have gone just beyond the tactile, the 3-dimensional, and are expressing more of your multidimensional body. And this adds in 13 chakras. And so after the solar plexus, it adds in the diaphragm chakra, okay? And it houses all of your emotional body. Then it moves into the heart center. Then we add in the higher heart, or the thymus, which is your immune system, your 5D immune system. So this is a much stronger immune system that is connected also with cosmic, higher level vibrations, gamma rays, plasma, all of these higher levels of light coming in and expressing through the body, which will help realign the DNA and all that is connected into the form. Then we go into the throat chakra and add in the well of dreams chakra, sometimes called the will of God, but essentially it's the counterpart to the throat chakra. It's in the back of the neck, and this is our connector to our past lives, to kind of our sense of soul memory that we always have. Sometimes it comes up in our fears or dreams, or a little intuitive hit of like, I've been here before, deja vu. But when this chakra comes online, we begin to have access to remembering and recognizing people, places, and all of the knowledge that we've gained through many lives on this planet and elsewhere as well. Then we have the higher level chakra system of the third eye, but it's split into two, the pituitary and the pineal gland. Then we have the crown, and up here at top, outside in our auric field, just kind of like antennas, we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Outside right, outside left. And these kind of literally look like the antennas that as a kid you would put on your head when you were pretending to be an alien. Okay, they're like little spheres here of energy, and they support your connection to divine feminine and divine masculine. And these are the quintessential, like the balanced aspects. They're also sometimes called galactic male, galactic female, universal male. These are the divine characteristics. So God-like, priestess. These are the aspects that hold the divinity of the masculine and feminine source. And so these chakra systems are not 3D, meaning they're not associated with sexuality and creation in that way. They're associated with purification, holiness. So you think of what you would think of as angelic entities that personify in feminine form. So ultimate grace and purity and love. The same thing in the masculine, ultimate protection and honor and love. It is the highest aspects, compassion and respect and honor. So they have the epitome of that energy, and they are defined in their characteristics. So they have differences, but the main thing to remember with this is that we all house these energetic centers, no matter how our genes express in our human form and how our gender expresses in our human form. And some people oscillate through genders in our human form, not necessarily based on our genetics or the way that our chromosomes express. And so Everyone essentially has access to this, but they are different. Meaning when you express and align with a masculine gender, no matter what the chromosome is, but you're choosing to express with that, okay? With masculine energy, then it tends to be that those centers populate the body energetically more. So they're more active, they spin faster, and chakras do look like a wheel, right? Sometimes like a double-sided funnel. Like they have a receptive side and an expressive side. Oh, let me get my little manipulatives. I'll show you. Okay, this is what I use when I teach it in class, right? This is like a steamer from the kitchen. But so here's my spinning wheel. You'll see it. And it opens and it spins. But imagine two of these back to back. Boom, boom. We've got one here spinning. We've got one here spinning. And they're beautiful. This is why we call them lotus petals, right? They're connected with petals because they have a larger opening valve, and they have the receiving side, which again is known as the feminine aspect of it, and the masculine side, which is the expressive. Okay, we receive from the back typically, and we express from the front. Okay, and they're open depending on how strengthened and strong they are, how wide, how capable you are of opening those centers. So as we express, and we express more from a masculine aspect of the self, and there are times in our life that require more masculine strength of that energy center, then it will flow more dominant in our body, and we will be pulling from divine masculine if we've opened up the 5D chakra center up here, and the right side of the pelvis, which is our masculine side of the 3D expression. Okay, so this is the power, this is the dominance, this is the get stuff done, I'm gonna move. And I will tell you, when I was a single mom, I was pulling a lot of masculine energy from my right center because I had to really move into action. And you are the protector of the children. You are the putting the food on the table for your children. You know, all of this that is typically housed in the masculine side of the body. When I have balance, when I've been married and I have that balance in the family dynamic, I notice that I take on way more feminine energy because I have the ability to designate that energy. So we will, as human beings in this form, spirit in the human body, we will at times oscillate between the strengths of these energy centers. They all are the same, but some will atrophy, shrink up if they're not used as much, and some will overextend and be stronger and be putting out more energy and flooding the system with more of that. Now, when that happens, there is literal biological response to that. Your endocrine system, your hormone system begins to function higher. You get more testosterone in the body when you are doing more masculine activity, when you're working out hard, when you're doing yin yoga, all right, or Tai Chi. These are more feminine exercises that are more flowy and graceful, and they have more ease and stretching. It will activate more progesterone, estrogen. This is measurable. So it will biologically affect you, but the systems themselves are the same because they are a human species system. Now, whether they are, like I said, atrophied or strengthened, or some have trauma in them, so they're blocked, they can come offline in that way or become dysfunctional. But you have the same capable centers, and those chakra centers are part of our human species and that capability that we were given when we chose form on this earth. This video's long. I'm sorry, you guys. I hope it was helpful to you. We can touch base more on this if you're interested later. Tune in. Next week, we'll do another video. Blessings.